at this point, I'm going to introduce you to my friend and brother, Glenn Andrew. Most of you around here know him, but if some of you don't, Glenn is an amazing gentleman. I've known Glenn for probably over 40 years, Glenn. And he still talks to me, which it's a miracle in itself. And the
And you
fact
talk
that
to me.
yeah, but you listen to me, you know. So Glenn has an incredibly impressive resume of working in industry, working in engineering and in consulting, manufacturing, business consulting. And also Glenn is a very talented executive coach. Glenn is a phenomenal networker. He really understands how to connect and network and develop relationships. He is a master of using LinkedIn, which if you do not have a LinkedIn account and you want to network with people on a professional level, you need to get a LinkedIn account and you need to use it properly. Okay. So, Glenn is going to also a certified instructor for this, the bank system, BANK, and he's going to talk more about that. And also he's going to give a URL address later on that you can actually get a really incredible assessment done for free just by answering some questions and following this survey. You input that in, and then they will email you an incredible information about your values and the way that you make decisions and the way that you interact with other people. Extremely valuable. I did it. It really helped me. And Glenn is kind enough to offer to help in that way. So with that, Glenn, welcome to our session today. Thank you for agreeing to join us and share your wisdom and tools. All right. Start talking, Glenn. I'm going to make you speaker view.
You are good. All right. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, we go back years. And it's interesting when you look at relationships that you develop and you look at them 10, 20, 30, 40 years later and how they've grown and they've developed. And I'm a very big person in developing meaningful relationships. So that's one of my key values. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. But thank you for that wonderful introduction, Mike. And like Kevin and Rodney yesterday, and Mike, I've given my life to service. And one of the things I'd like to share with you is really the value of collaboration, being able to have a conversation with someone else. Then what we're going to do is we'll talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to go into breakout rooms, about 8 minutes each, and we'll get to talk a little bit and explore what's possible with collaboration. Then we'll kind of come back into big room and we'll go through and exchange some things, lessons that we've learned. And then I've got some training that I'd like to be able to give you that's very specific to help you today to be able to understand other people's values, at least get a glimpse of what they are as you get to know them. And at the end, I've got a gift for you. And I also will be making an offer for a service, all right? So when that comes up, don't be surprised. But what I like to do is kind of go back to the way Mike had set up this series here. We've got concentration, we've got creativity, and we got collaboration. Now, they all begin with the letter C, all right? And I was thinking, hey, there's some other ones that kind of come to mind, like confidence, credibility, cooperation. So if any other words like that begin with the letter C, type that into the chat that comes to mind right now. Go ahead. What's a word that's aligned with concentration, creativity, collaboration? We've got courage. We've got caring. Anything else? Courage again, consideration, clarity, commitment, connection. Oh, I love these. Consciousness, contagious confidence, community, calmness. Anyone else? Cooking things up. I love it. Caring, consciousness. So, you know, there's a lot of words that go into this. All right. Congruency is one that comes to mind for me. You know, what you're sharing, what you have to share, it needs to be congruent with whoever it is that you're having a conversation with. And let's just start. Collaboration is all about having a conversation, okay, with another person. That's collaboration at its simplest term, is having a conversation. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, when you've had a conversation with someone, think back the last time you had a good conversation with someone. Just take a moment, think back, think of a time that you had a conversation and it was, you really felt connected. There's another C there, connected to the other person there, all right? Think about that. How did that make you feel? What was it like for you? Was it enriching? Would someone like to go ahead and raise your electronic hand and kind of come out right now? And you can raise your electronic hand by going to the connections button and there's a raise your hand. Susan Allen, would you like to come out and share?
Hi, it's good to be here. Good to see you, both of you, everybody. When I meet somebody, I guess I am addicted to people. And it gives me, most of the time, it gives me energy. It gives me I feel this connective tissue that goes on. So that's what it is. And it opens, for the most part, it opens my heart. Yes.
Great. I love that, especially about opening the heart. So thank you, Susan. Hey, would you all go ahead and share a little love with Susan over there? You can use your electronic cards. You can do the electronic claps or physical clap. Let's light up the screen for her. Thank you very much, Susan. Marie, would you like to come out and share what comes to mind for you?
Yes, I do. Oh, maybe you want to see me too. I'm pushing the limits of my computer and internet here. But actually, Susan said it. The first thing when I make a true connection in conversation is I feel energized. But the second thing is this air of mystery. It's like I know what we're saying in words, but I wonder what's really going on. What did Spirit have in mind? Or what's the deeper purpose that we're bringing together? And there's something that's cooking up this energy. So I'm kind of on the alert, looking for cues and clues about what's really going on.
That's awesome, Marie. I mean, it's like you're getting a connection over there. You're feeling that energy, and your awareness is open to the possibilities that are around. So thank you very much, Marie. Which is give her a little love, give her a little thumbs up. All right, light up that screen for her. All right, thank you very much, Marie. Okay, now think of a time now. We did the real good connection now. Think of a time that you had a conversation with someone and it just didn't jive for whatever reason. You know, maybe the gears were not meshing or something. You felt a little bit of anxiety inside of you or something like that, but you were well-meaning. You intended to have a good conversation. Think about a time that you didn't really quite connect with someone. take a moment right now and reflect back on what that felt like for you. You don't need to be shy. It's a safe spot we have here, safe space. Okay, well, if not, we'll move on. So collaboration really requires being interested in another person. And when you're interested in another person, you tend to listen a lot. And the thing is if you can drop any expectations that you have and just be totally open, it's like things will really open up for you. Now, one of the things, I'll share a little trick that I use, a little tip that I've learned to help me in being able to collaborate with people. And that's changing my mindset in my everyday conversation. What is it that I can learn about other people? And I've got a question whenever I go into a store or something. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've been asking this one question whenever I get someone who's going to help me, whether it's behind a cashier or a salesperson or something. And I invite you to go ahead and write it down because it's really a great one for me. And that's asking the question, what's the best thing that's happened to you this past week? What's the best thing that's happened to you this past week? All right. And it's amazing. I remember going into a department store one time and I asked the cashier, I bought some shirts, she's ringing up the shirts, and I asked her very, very cheerfully, so what's the best thing that's happened to you this past week? And she kind of had a frown on her face and she kind of shrugged her shoulders and says, oh, not much, it's just work. It's just work. And for me, there's no expectation. So I was just, okay. You're not having a good day? That's fine. So she kept on going. Then all of a sudden she stopped dead in her tracks. She thought of something. You could see she was recalling an experience. And then she says, you know what? I says, no, what? And she says, 2 weeks ago, I went in and I got a biopsy done. And this past Wednesday, I got the results. And I says, yeah. And she says, I don't have cancer. And it was just like this light just kind of beamed off of her face and all. And it was just like this light just kind of exploded around her. Now, here's the other interesting thing, is that she had other coworkers working around. And at that very moment that she shared that, and you could see that light kind of go out, her coworkers stopped and they kind of looked around like something happened, but they didn't know what it was. All right. But she sent off that energy and it was just like she felt really good. It was like a burst of joy for her. And she says, well, thank you very much. Another time I was driving along and I was stopping for gas. I was in another state and pulled at one of these roadside gas stations along the way. And I went in to get gas and I went in to go ahead and pay the bill. And there was a lady who was in this cube. It was a glass cube, all right? And she had all these cigarette containers and all of these other things all around it, all right? And it had a lot of fluorescent light in it. And it didn't seem very happy. So, I'm giving her
All right, he's back.
That was the strangest thing. It was like all of a sudden, the Zoom went and it was off. And then all of a sudden, it started up again. So anyway, if you remember what I was sharing about asking that question, and what I found by asking that question, most people will answer it. All right, if you ask them sincerely. And it was interesting because they'll turn around and they'll say, that's great. What about you? And it keeps me on my toes. It keeps my heart filled with gratitude. And all of a sudden now I can start collaborating with this other person there. All right. One of the things that Michael had said at the beginning when he was talking about, it's not what you know, it's who you know. All right. Well, I'd like to take that a step further. It's not so much who you know, but who knows you.
Ah,
Because that's where the referrals come in. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. All right. And once you start developing that line of communication, that you start showing interest in the other person, then lo and behold, they start thinking about you. If they know what you do, all of a sudden, you're going to be able to get a referral from that person. They'll think about you. And when they come across someone that says, hey, they know of a person who's having a certain problem, then all of a sudden they want to be able to connect them with you. And that's how referrals work. All right. So by starting with a sincere interest in other people without any expectation whatsoever, that opens up the door for collaboration. So collaboration is a skill. It's something that you don't learn overnight. And what is it? Who was it? I can't think of the name, but a famous writer once said that it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. All right. So in order to master collaboration, you've got to spend time at it. All right. You've got to work at it all the time. And, collaboration being a skill, it's just like networking. Networking is a skill. So the thing is, it's like a muscle that you start working and you're working and you're working and you try it in different circumstances. And you go into situations that you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And that's the fun. That's the joy. Because if you go into those situations with an open heart, filled with gratitude, without any expectation, and you're just excited about what's going to happen, you're going to learn from it. And then all of a sudden, people feel that energy. They pick up on it. And it's like all of a sudden, now those neural pathways are kind of grooving within them and they start opening up. All right. So it's just like taking a tuning fork. I'm going to use my pen here as a tuning fork. I'm going to get another one here. And let's say this tuning fork is vibrating. All right. And I take another one next to it that's not vibrating. And I put them together and they both start vibrating at the same frequency. All right. That's how collaboration starts. So having that image, I'm going to share with you an experience that I've had. And it started back about 7-8 years ago. And I had been working on my own business. And I was doing coaching, I was doing real estate investing, and I was selling products online. And with the downturn of the economy in 2008 and 2009, I had to go out and get a job again because I was 8-9 years without a job in my own business. And things had changed. So what I started doing was going out to my network of people that I had known over years. And just knocking on doors, picking up the phone, sending out an email, just doing whatever I can. And for me, there was another C word that kind of came into play. You may want to write this down, and that's consistency. All right. Taking effective action consistently. All right. So I did this. And after about 13 months, I finally ended up getting a job. But all throughout that time, I learned a lot of new skills. I started working with LinkedIn. I started doing different things. Now, so I ended up getting a position. But the thing is that my friends who were telling me, says, hey, you got to talk to so-and-so. they got a position as a CFO. And to me, CFO is Chief Financial Officer. And I had no background in finance. I had no background in accounting. Why would I want to go ahead and reach out to that person? All right. But they kept at it. And they said, no, you really ought to, I think you'd be a perfect fit. And I'm going, okay, I'll try. So I had a conversation, ended up going on an interview, went down to Oklahoma City, and it turned out they weren't looking for a CFO. They were looking for a COO, Chief Operations Officer. Completely different thing, but one that was well suited for me, okay? And that's where that consistency kind of paid off. So my wife and I, we ended up moving down to Oklahoma, and we're working within this private equity firm, and I was the COO for a small company. Well, that position lasted for only 1 year. And the managing partner of the private equity firm comes in and says, hey, Glenn, we're going to have to let you go. And I go, oh, and it's the first time in my life I was laid off. And I says, okay. And I'm trying to be cool about it, but inside I'm just been eaten up. So he says, you know what, Glenn, you can go home early today if you want. All right. And I says, well, I really appreciate it. But my car is in the shop right now, and my wife dropped me off over at work, and I have no way of getting home. And he kind of looked at me kind of funny, and he felt a little awkward about it. And I says, I'll stay here and wait for my wife. He says, tell you what, Glenn, I'll go ahead and give you a ride home. So here he is. He lays me off, and he's giving me a ride home. And I thought, oh, how beautiful this is, it's amazing how spirit works in our life. All right. And I was able to have a conversation, and we were able to get into it much deeper and all, but it was interesting. Well, I had the good fortune of being laid off a total of 3 times. Okay. And each time it taught me something new, but I ended up going back to my network, to the people that I had built relationships with, to new people that I was meeting and building new relationships. Because my whole approach was a little different. It was like I was looking at collaboration a little differently. Instead of going, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can you give me a job? Hey, I'm looking for a job. Can you give me a job? Hey, and I went down that path, and that's not what collaboration is all about. But then I realized it's like, what value can I offer someone else so that they'll have something and they'll go away with it with much greater value, and me not having any expectations. And each time that I went through and I got laid off, I ended up getting another job without waiting very much time. And then the last time that happened, I was down in Orlando. I was working for a firm, and I was traveling all around the country. And the COO of a company who ran 3 companies, he had to lay me off, all right, because I was his business development guy. And he says, Glenn, I like you, but it's taken me a whole week before I actually had to come out and tell you. Well, it turned out that I says, don't worry about it. When one door closes, others are going to open. And I says, I totally get it. Not a problem. And I didn't have any anxiety this time. And 2 days later, he calls me back. He says, Glenn, sorry to bother you right now, but I just got laid off for the first time in my life. And I was able to be there for him. It was that relationships that we had developed over time that all of a sudden, that's why I was able to be there for him. He had 2 twins that were young and all, and he didn't know what to do. But we had a good conversations. We had a few of them, and I was able to be there for him. So I was able to help him and offer value for him as a result of that. So that's like a little gift that's kind of given. So what I'd like to do now, Mike, if we can, I'd like to invite everyone to kind of go into a breakout room. And what I'd like to do, we got about 50 people. And I'd like to, if you write down these 2 questions, I'd like to have you in your breakout rooms kind of discuss these 2 questions. What's possible when we collaborate? Think of some of the different perspectives that you might have. Take a look at collaboration with fresh new eyes. So that first question is, what's possible when we collaborate? And then the second question is, what happens when we don't collaborate? And that's a deeper question. So go into your individual breakout rooms and make sure that everyone has a chance to kind of go through what each of those are. Now, Don has gone ahead and typed in those questions right in the chat. If you need it right now, grab it before we go into the breakout rooms. What's possible when we collaborate? And what's possible when we don't collaborate? And Mike, how long do we have for people in the individual groups?
Let's do 15 minutes. So that's 5 minutes a person if it's 3 people. Let's do 15 minutes, okay?
That's great.
All right.
Well, have fun.
Yes.
And have fun exploring. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. If you would all unmute yourselves, and you're going to see on your screen an invitation to join a specific breakout room. Accept that invitation and have fun. Here we go. And we're off. You'll see on your screen an invitation to a breakout room and click accept.
I got one.
Let's see. Yes, Luba, you were assigned.
It didn't, there was nothing on my screen. I just see you.
Okay.
There's nothing on my screen.
All right. I'm just going to randomly, let's see, put 2 of you in 6. Assign to 6.
I didn't get the message either.
Susan, assigned to 6. Okay. All right. Just a sec. Looking for the rooms that don't have 5. Okay. Carol, we're going to assign you to 5. And let's see, Meg. We're going to assign you to 9. Sadie. Hey, Sadie. Sadie, where should we send you? 12. We're going to send you to 12, Sadie. And
quite a few breakout rooms.
Yeah, we have a bunch. All right. We have Lucille. Lucille, we're going to send you to room 14. I'm wondering why it didn't do this automatically, but that's okay. We're flexible. We know how to get her done. Yeah, so it should be, I guess it should be 4 people. So we'll go right down the list here. Who's next? Elizabeth.
Hi,
Hey, Elizabeth, you're going to go to
Hi.
room 1.
thank you.
You see the invite? Okay, Irina, we'll send you to room number 2. Come on down to room number 2.
Oh my God.
All right, we started the recording. Welcome back. Just give another few seconds for people to get back, but I think we're all back. Raise your hand if you're not back yet. Okay.
Okay, I think we got everyone pretty much back.
Let's do it.
Now, I'd love to kind of hear from three of you. If you'd like to raise your electronic hand, who'd like to come out and share what was the big aha that you got? All right, Susan Allen.
We noticed right away that the first question that we were asked about collaboration was that somebody said that collaborating is, and when you don't collaborate, there's a little bit of depth going on there. And all of a sudden, we kind of stopped. It kind of like, what? And we became so present with each other because of this person's question. Randy, maybe you can rephrase it. But we became so present with each other that we were actually speechless. And we had to kind of take it in because we were with each other already. And there was this feeling of trust. I can't describe it, but it was definitely, we were able to share on a more personal level. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing. Everyone, go ahead and give her some hearts. Give Susan some hearts. Thank you, Susan. Miss Biltz. Miss Biltz.
Oh, nice sign. Love it. We had a really interesting conversation about the different feeling you get when you're collaborating versus when you are working with people, but there is this, when things aren't equal, and you can really feel when if you're not contributing what you feel you should be contributing, and how fear can really cut you off from doing your part in a group. And say you're working with people who are, more experienced than you, and you think, oh, well, I don't have anything to offer because I'm new at this. And if you let that fear stop you from finding something to offer, finding some kind of value to offer, then that can cut off the flow of energy, which happens when you collaborate, which happens when everyone is offering something. And so getting into that space of really focusing on, okay, what can I offer that's of value? And that can take away the fear of reaching out to people. And that sort of thing as well.
Absolutely. It's that excellent point. Give her some hearts. Give her some love there. Yeah. And it's so amazing what happens when we're of service, being of service for other people, and the value that we can offer other people. So thank you very much. Don, would you like to come off mute?
Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be. So when our group started to talk about collaboration, one of the things that came up is something near and dear to me, which is play. I mentioned this thing about, in the Shariat, it talks about this concept called Leela, which is the playfulness and the joyfulness of soul. And for me, when collaboration is really happening, there's a real sense of joy and playfulness with the players. You know, Mike, I think that in martial arts, you know, when you have like different combatants, they actually call them players. It's like these are the people that you are interacting with and sharing energy with and sharing ideas. I was talking about, you know, I worked as a teacher for 30 years, and there were some schools that I worked in where everything was planned together. And for instance, you had to teach reading across every subject, not just English, but math, gym, music, etc. And we would have these, we had a great team. It was like a small school, and the people were on the same page, and there was a sense of purpose and warmth between the different teachers. And then I worked at other schools where everybody's classroom was their own personal fiefdom. It's like, okay, this is my class. I'm doing it my way. And there wasn't quite the sense of camaraderie and collaboration. So I enjoy collaborating. And then we talked on the other side. There was mention of this movie called Alone in the Wilderness. Maybe some of you have seen it. It's on public TV, about a guy who built a cabin with his own hands in Alaska and lived there for 30 years, all on his own. I mean, every once in a while, a plane would drop supplies, but he really enjoyed that. I mean, his collaboration was not with other people, but just with nature, and the fact that he had a great skill set in terms of survival and ability, and harmony with his surroundings. Boy, I could never do that. But you know, some people really prefer to work solo. That's just the way it is. So
Thank you very much, Don.
yeah,
Thanks. You know, collaborate with the environment. So let's share a little love for Don. Thank you, Don. Jean, would you like to come out?
Sure. Well, I was with the two gentlemen, Galaxy and Peter, and first we said when we don't collaborate, a lot of times what happens, it creates a more negative situation. People don't feel like they're being heard. We said that people, if we don't like empathize, sometimes we might not agree, but if we don't empathize or if we don't actively listen, then you can't collaborate. And what we finally came to the conclusion is all the things that we all talked about, all those C's, that when we listen and when we reach out, when we empathize and allow people to express themselves, it allows each of us to be genuine. Peter said about being genuine, and I thought like that in that situation, if everybody can feel that and just express themselves and be genuine, it really leads to a greater outcome. So.
Well, thank you very much, Jean. Appreciate that. You know, that genuineness, that authenticity is so key when it comes to collaboration. So share some hearts with her. Thank you very much. Okay, what I'd like to do now is I'd like to transition over to a slide deck. And one of the things that I'd like to share with you is to help you identify what another person's values are. All right. So the thing is that what we've learned right now, you know, especially through the breakout rooms, is that when we're in alignment with whoever it is that we're speaking to, then we are able to have great resonance. We're able to communicate when we're in alignment. But part of it is knowing how we communicate to other people and then how another person likes to be able to be communicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be teaching you a few skills in recognizing the different sets of values of different people. Now, I use a methodology called BANK, B-A-N-K. And let me pull up my slides over here. And I'm going to go through and share a little bit. Let me know if you can see that all right. And if you've got all your windows, open, with the videos, there's in the upper left, there's a little minus sign. You can hit that and you can actually move that around and it'll collapse it so you can see the full screen. So the methodology that I'm sharing with you is called BANK. It's personality based, it's people focused, and it's profit driven. And BANK is an acronym for 4 different personalities: blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge. Let me get my advanced going. Okay. So BANK is based upon personality science, and it's the only one that is really values based. Now, who's taken the personality assessment? Just go ahead and type if you have, say yes, or if you haven't, type no in the chat box. Okay, we're getting 6, 7, 8 people. Great. There's all sorts of different types of assessments out there. So what we're going to be focused on here are 4 different types: blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge. And they're all a little different. So let's start with blueprint in a moment. I forgot I had this slide in here. So BANK is all about improving your relationships and your revenue up to 300%. So if we utilize it, look at this graph over here, this chart, and we think of these as steps in language, all right? So let's look at the bottom one. Let's look at the B, the blue. And let's say this is, you speak English. Let's say that's the language of choice, all right? And now you can speak with other English speakers, and it's like, wow, you can communicate. You're able to go ahead and have a conversation with them. But let's say, for instance, the red, the A there, let's say that person spoke French and only French. And then if you were to speak English to them and they only spoke French, what are the chances are that you'll be able to have a meaningful conversation? Not really. But if you were that English speaker and you were to go up to that French speaker and say, "Bonjour, je m'appelle Glenn," all of a sudden you begin to speak French with them. And you notice their energy, it changes. So they all of a sudden, you're speaking their language. You're aligned with them, okay? Now let's say, for instance, so you've actually increased your ability to communicate by 100%. From being an English speaker. So let's say the next one, the yellow, the N, represents someone who speaks Spanish. And let's say you speak English or you speak French. And you go to the Spanish speaking person and then you say, "Hey, how are you doing?" But the thing is that they wouldn't understand if they only spoke Spanish. But if you went to them and said, "Hola, ¿cómo te llamas?" Right? And you start speaking Spanish to them, then all of a sudden you've doubled, you've increased your communication skills up 200%. Not only can you speak their language, English, you could speak French, and you could speak Spanish. Now let's say the top one was K, and let's say that would represent Korean, and you don't speak Korean at all. And if you started speaking to them in either English, French, or Spanish, that Korean speaking person wouldn't understand you. But if you were to go up to them and say, "Onyon, odekasene," and then all of a sudden you're speaking a little bit of Korean to them and you're able to communicate. And that's what BANK is all about. It's understanding how other people like to be communicated based upon their values. So let's start with the first one over here. This is a powerful concept. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce you to this BANK system. Now, system, for me is an acronym. It says save yourself time, energy, and money. System. So who here would like to be able to save themselves time, energy, and money? Just type system in the chat box right now. Okay, we've got a few people. Great. So let's start out with the first one. Let's start out with blueprint. All right. Now we represent the blueprint type of personality with color blue. It's a little cooler. And if you look down over here in the lower left, we've got this box over here. And these are the type of people who think inside the box. Right? They don't like to take risks. And why? Well, they have a certain set of values that's driving their operating system and making their decisions. So what are some of those values of a blueprint personality? Well, there's stability, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition, all right? These are values that they hold. They like stability. They do not like risk, all right? And these are the type of people who go for duty and honor, all right? Those are high values for them, all right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Is it okay to show up late for an appointment with a person who's a blueprint? The answer is no. If you show up 15 minutes early, you're on time, because these people will always be at the appointment early. Let's look at and they have a certain way of being able to greet, and it's a very traditional greeting, all right? Here in the Western society, it's the traditional handshake, firm traditional handshake. If you're in other cultures, you want to do the traditional greeting, all right? Because tradition is one of their top values. Now let's look at another type, and let's look at the action personality, all right? Action is completely different. It's represented by the color red. All right, and these are the movers, the shakers, the millionaire makers. These are the people who, when you meet them, they look like they just drank Red Bull in the morning, all right? They like to be treated like VIPs, red carpet, the color red. And if you notice in the box over in the lower left, you got the little rocket taken out. These are people who think outside of the box, all right? Well, why? Because they have a different set of values. They value different things from the blueprint. They value freedom, flexibility, stability, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, fun, and image. These are the people who like the word opportunity. You mention opportunity to them and you got their attention. They're all about winning. All right. And these are the people who like to compete. All right. But one of the values that they like is fun. So if you can think of anything that's going to be fun loving, they're going to be in. All right. Now, they have a different set of values. And what's interesting is punctuality isn't one of them. They'll show up late to a meeting, minutes or 10 minutes late. But what's important for them is how you show up, what your image you have, and how you appear. Now I have a question for you, all right? And for those of you who are in business, all right, this might be relevant to you. Which buyer do you think will spend more money, the blueprint or the action? Just type that in the chat box. Okay, we got you. Well, if you said action, you were right, okay? These are the people that will actually go ahead and spend money very quickly. However, they're very picky. And just with all of these personalities, there's certain triggers that will get them to go say yes, and there are other tripwires to shut them off, right? Now, the next type, forgot the greeting. They like high fives. They're not so much into the traditional greeting. They like to do a high five. okay? And you probably have seen these people around your place of work, all right? Let's go to the next type. And these are the nurturing. This is the third personality. We represented by the color yellow. And you think of nurturing types as warm like sunshine, heart of gold, okay? Now, these are the people who are neither inside the box or outside the box. These people recycle the box, all right? Now, why? Well, they have a different set of values. Nurturing types values include relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. Okay, these are the people that have a different type of currency. Don't think that they may not necessarily spend a lot of money, but they got something that's more valuable, a different type of currency, and that's relationship currency. They value connections, they value community, all right? And these people can be your best source of referrals, all right, for your business or for your own individual projects that you're working on, okay? And these people, what type of greeting do you think they like? Type into the chat box. Well, here we go. They like hugs. Nurturing people love to be able to hugs, all right? And they're a little different than the blueprint, which goes with traditional greeting. They're different than the high five reaction types. These people like doing hugs, okay? Now, let's look at the fourth type, and these are the knowledge, all right? Represented by the color green, right? These people like numbers, they like data, they like information. Think of the green in Excel spreadsheets. Think of green in a movie matrix with all of the data streams kind of pouring down, right? Now, they have a different set of values, all right? They're different than the other types. They value learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy, the big picture, all right? All right? These are the people who engineer the box, all right? They don't recycle it. They're not inside the box, they're not outside, they recycle the box. Now, when it comes to sales, all right, for those of you who are in business, do you think you can close a K? Well, the answer is no. Why? Because the Ks have to close themselves. They have a completely different process to get to a yes. Now, have you ever had any clients or any other people that you've worked with that are kind of stuck with analysis and paralysis? They ask a million questions, all right? How long does it take them to make a decision? I'll give you a hint. It starts with the number 4. Forever. They can't make a buying decision if there's any risk that they might be wrong. So they've got to get a lot of information. They need data, they need white papers, they need all that documentation before they can make a decision. And that's the power of the system. So they like to be able to do this greeting over here. Think of Spock, That's an excellent character to think of a knowledge type. But when they do a greeting, they could do that. But the best way to do that, you greet one, is hand them a business card. Because knowledge types prefer not to be touched, all right? This is why if you're a nurturer and you go up to a knowledge type and you try to give them a hug, they kind of step back a little bit. And it's because they have a different set of values. It's not that they're open-hearted, all right? So what do you think is your primary code? Now that we've gone through them, think of which one you resonate with. Is it the blueprint? Is it the action? Is it the nurturing? Is it the knowledge? And type that into the chat box. Which do you think is your primary code? which one of those values seem to resonate most with you, all right? Because this primary code is basically how you show up into the world. All right. So what I'd like to do is, I had mentioned I was going to offer you a little gift, all right? So that it's an assessment. And I'm going to be giving you a link shortly that you can go in and get your own assessment. And you'll have each of these, let me back up, each of these 4 cards over here with these values. And what you'll do is that you'll sort them in order. You drag them from what's most important to you to least important, right? You may have some values that are in each of these that are yours, but as a group, which is your primary? And you'll sort these in order. Now, if you happen to have children, over here, next to where view words, you can check view icons. And then there are individual icons that children can relate to. And you can take a look at your children and find out what their primary code is, all right? And here's that link. It's crackmycode.com/Glenn. Now, I've got another slide with that information on it, and I'll put it into the chat box. But when you go do that, and you fill out the report and you put in the information, in your inbox, you'll get a 24-page report that will be all about you and that primary personality and how your different codes are, all right? And you're going to learn about the strength of each of the personality types, and you're going to learn tips on communicating with other people, all right? So that report that's going to be sent to you, it's a $99 value, and that access code is going to be in this link over here. So if you want to take a screenshot of that link, this is how you can kind of crack your code to be able to get your free personality assessment. If you'd like to do any follow-up with me, you can email me at glennandrew@outlook.com. And I'm really big on LinkedIn as a platform. So if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, there's a little link that's a shortcut to my LinkedIn link, glennlinkedin.com. And we can connect there and just say that you were in the COVID challenge class. And then I'll know about you. Now, I mentioned at the beginning I was going to do an offer. All right, I'm going to make this brief. Now, if you want to learn a little more about what this system is, there's a digital book called Why They Buy, and it's by the founder and developer of this methodology, Why They Buy. It's a digital copy, and it's normally $19.95. But with this, you'll also get a masterclass on relationships. There's 24 modules within that on relationships. So if you're dating, if you're parenting, or if you're in marriage, you'll learn different tips to be able to help you identify and be able to help you strengthen those relationships. And if you're in business, we also have a 20 module class on sales to help you become a much more effective salesperson. Also within this, there's an advanced assessment. It's more accurate, and it's included in here. If you want, there's a paper copy, so you can go ahead and share it with people. And that's all. It's a $435 value for $49. But what's also in there is you can go ahead for $1. You can activate one of our 4 subscription levels. All right, and you can learn how to utilize our AI tool. It's an empathic AI, so you can take a look at copy maybe on your websites, or maybe in communications, emails, blogs, whatever, and be able to put it in and be able to get an idea what the other person's code is. You'll also be able to have access to a Chrome extension, so you can go into LinkedIn and be able to look at profiles of other people beforehand. And there's a 50-hour training, training videos in 50 hours worth $10,000. And if you activate that within 14 days, you got 30 days access to any of these subscriptions, and that's all for $49.95. I'll have a link in there. Bank is all about one language, one world, one language. And is learning to be able to speak the language of other people, what their values are. A lot of times we speak our own one language and we wonder why people don't understand us. But when we understand what our language is and we understand what the other language of the other person is based upon their values, then we can have some real communication. So I'm going to stop screen sharing right now. And I am going to copy in what that contact information is into the chat box right now. So any questions?
Your LinkedIn information, best way to get in touch with you.
Yeah, that's HTTPS. Go to glennlinkedin.com.
Could you post that? Could you put it up?
Huh?
Could you put that LinkedIn contact information up on the screen?
Yeah, it's in the chat box right now. Do you see the chat? Here, let me go back and I'll start that PowerPoint again.
Maybe we could also post it in the COVID comeback crisis Facebook page.
Okay, that we can do. Let's see. Let me just pull up the screen so you can do a screenshot. Let me share my screen again. Okay, we're going to go down to the end. Let's see. Okay. All right, there.
Great, thanks.
Okay, you can do a screenshot from that. Stop my share.
Yeah.
Don, you had a question. Come out. Oh, Don's on his phone. Anyone have any other questions? Mike? All right, now, yeah, Mark went ahead and did a great thing. Over on the chat, you can save the chat by clicking on the three dots in the bottom right. You can save the chat. Susan, did you want to come out and share something?
Well, this has been extremely eye-opening because when I hear about connecting, I'm a nurturer, no kidding.
Yeah.
And when I hear about connecting and I have to go out and somebody says, well, you have to find your niche. You have to find your niche. And maybe it's true, maybe I do, but maybe that is not exactly what is happening here. I mean, I've been like banging against a brick wall. And when you mentioned this about understanding how different people relate, I mean, it's like, boing, it just like lit up incredibly because that I can understand, that I can do, that I can work with. And so this is really interesting. My question is if in fact I couldn't afford the coaching, do you have group sessions? Is that
We can, we have group coaching that goes on, and we can always talk about that. Contact me offline, and we can go through into a little greater detail.
Thank you.
But feel free to go ahead and crack your code there. If you notice next to my name, I've got my code over there, NAKB. I'm a nurturing action knowledge blueprint in that order. All right. So I put that onto my LinkedIn profile. I put it on my Instagram. I put it on my Twitter. I can't do it on my Facebook because Facebook doesn't allow you to do extra characters like commas or spaces. But it's the way I announce to the world, hey, this is how I like to be communicated. All right. So I wear it as a badge of honor. Anyone else would like to come out and ask a question? Mark.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, it took me so long and, to figure this out and to, appreciate the importance of it. And I think one of the things that helped me understand this was my cat. It's actually not the cat I've got now, but a previous cat. And I started practicing trying to make the sounds of my cat. And I finally figured out, I was finally able to make it clear, like authentically enough, like a good enough reproduction of it that the cat would pay attention. I'd make this sound. It's kind of a throaty sound. And I found out not only could I communicate with my cat with that sound, but every other cat as well, including big cats. So, and I got a buddy who showed me how to blink to a cat, and that communicates. And it's like, here we've been chatting to cats in English or a human language, and a lot of us haven't thought about communicating with them in their language. And so I feel like, this is exactly the same thing here. It's learning to understand the language that each of us best is able to communicate in. And I think it's great. It obviously connects with values, and it's not so difficult to understand that we can't begin to recognize and tune into this. So thank you very much. I found it very fascinating.
Wonderful. Give Mark and Susan a little bit of love right now. Thank them.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Susan. Glenn, thank you so much. This has, you have over-delivered, my friend. You have over-delivered. You have, you have surpassed my expectation of what value we were hoping to, to experience today. So thank you so much. And I will definitely be calling you because there's a whole lot of this about what you're talking about that I'm really, really interested in. And by the way, I'm also an NAKB. So we are rapidly approaching towards the end of our time, and I wanted to take some time to tell you folks about what's next. You've been wonderful, and you've been wonderful in coming here for 3 sessions, spending over 6 hours with me. Some of you have been spending the last 6 months or more with me, and know the value of what we've been sharing. But I thought I would show you a little bit. I thought I would show you a little bit about what we're doing and what's next for you if this is your first time coming along with us. And I'm going to just for a second mute the group, and so that we can show you a little bit about what we're doing here. So let us move to screen share and the PowerPoint. And here we go. Okay, so if you can see the screen here, we've been developing over the last 6 months a number of products and programs that will enable us to take the next steps in our process of goal achievement mastery. Okay. I'm going to take you a little picture here. So basically, we've created this ladder, this progressive ladder. And the last 3 sessions here were part of the orientation phase of our program. Okay, the COVID Crisis Comeback Challenge was to give you an introduction to our basic principles, right, of concentration, creativity, collaboration, right? From here, we have another phase, another program, and I call it the undergraduate program. And this is working with our goal achievement mastery journaling system. And in conjunction with that is our study buddy groups. So you received, you're going to be receiving another, portion of your guidebook today. There's 3 keys, and you'll be receiving another portion after that. That guidebook are some really great tools. We have other guidebooks, and you'll be getting information via email. But the next phase, the undergraduate phase, is this goal achievement mastery journaling system. Okay, this is 400 pages of incredible things. There's a course in front of it, a goal achievement course, goal setting course. There's the actual journal, which is a daily page plus a dream journal plus a free writing page. Plus, there is a values exploration course built into that. You're also, if you go to goalmasteryjournal.com, GOALMASTERY, goalmasteryjournal.com, you will be eligible to get all the goodies, all the free bonuses. There's about $500 worth of product and bonuses there. And you'll be able to purchase that at a discounted price. It starts out at $57, and if you want to get some of the other bonuses, it's just an additional $37. So for $84, $94, somewhere in there, you're getting over $500 worth of product. So what happens with this is you get the journal, and then we connect you with a study buddy group. We connect you with a group of people that are focused on using this journal to achieve their goals. And it's led by a trained facilitator. And you are communicating daily with Facebook Instant Messenger. Once a week, there is a Zoom meeting with your study buddy group. And it's all about focusing on getting maximum benefit from each page, each section of this journal to help you kickstart and supercharge your goal achievement process. In addition to that, I hold every Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time a alumni mastermind meeting where I work on some of the exercises that are in your 3 Keys guidebook. I bring other exercises and new principles and things. We have great discussion, great tools for those who purchase the journal or purchase one of our guidebooks or purchase some of the advanced programs. That Sunday Mastermind program is free. So I highly, very greatly invite you to take part in that. So again, if you go to goalmasteryjournal.com, you'll be able to take advantage of the special pricing and all of the bonuses. So remember, there was the undergraduate level, and that is the Goal Mastery Journal program with the Study Buddy group. Moving up from there, after the 90-day program of exploring the Goal Mastery Journal program, after 90 days, people in that program have the ability to step into a 9-month program. I call it the Master's Degree program, and that is the Your 9 Steps program. And that's a program that includes workbooks, live training, and also it will have the study buddy group supporting it. So that is composed of 9 workbooks and 9 instructional sessions with me. And then it's supported by the Study Buddy group. And that program, that master's program, goes for 9 months. We do 1 workbook a month. And each week, the leader of the Study Buddy group is taking a section at a time per week. And then we are moving through to where at the end of a month, we move to the next workbook. Same thing. For 4 weeks, we go through that workbook. End of the month, we go to the next workbook. Okay. We have a special price for that program. We are selling it month by month. And you'll see information at goalmasteryjournal.com. You'll also see information on the rebootrestart.com program. I think it's the second page or the third page of it. But all of you are going to get an email. I'm in the process of finishing a brand new website, and you will be getting an email with a link for that has all of our products, all of our programs, all of the pricing, a shopping cart that you can utilize to purchase it. But the Your 9-Step program is literally a 9-step program that takes you through step by step the clues and the keys to goal achievement mastery. This is my 45 years of research in personal development, personal performance improvement, spiritual unfoldment, business process improvement. And step by step, we move each workbook and each month, we are moving through that inspirational alignment. I call it inspirational DNA alignment. The second step is integrating self and utilizing mentors. The third step is collecting tools and organizing good, smart plans and systematizing. Building strength is step 4, stamina and momentum. Step 5 is cultivating gratitude and self-worthiness. Step 6 is nurturing a culture of service. Step 7 is managing change and learning to fall forward, learning to fail forward, embracing the change, embracing when things don't work out, embracing being laid off, embracing the crisis, because with every crisis comes an opportunity. Number 8 is going to be taking bold, massive action, conquering fear, conquering procrastination. And then step 9 is celebrating your journey and sharing your story, turning your message into a movement. So step 9 is taking the mess you started with that caused you to start your journey of unfoldment and goal mastery. Taking the mess, turning it into a message, and then taking the message, turning it into a movement, turning it into an opportunity to teach others. From there, if you continue with our program, we also then have the PhD level program. And that is if you are interested in starting a business to promote and sell the things that I will help you produce, we can do that. So it's ongoing coaching. It's 12 sessions of coaching with me and building your business, building your product line, helping you market it. Or if you're just interested in personal development, of continuing to work towards gaining more mastery of the goal setting, plan setting, and goal achievement process, there's coaching available in that level. And then finally, for those who make it through these programs and are interested in becoming part of my staff, as I grow this company, as I grow this program, there will be opportunities for people to work in different capacities. And we'll always be keeping you posted on that. So this is our program. I wanted you to know there's more than just this session that we have. There's more than just, the journal. It really is an entire journey. It's an entire journey, an entire value ladder of opportunities. And I'm working tirelessly to write more booklets, to expand the workbooks, I have 3 of the workbooks done now. I have obviously 6 more to go. So I'm working diligently on doing those workbooks and completing them. Eventually, I will be recording. These courses, and we are moving then into the next phase, and that is creating online courses, and that'll be the next phase. And I'm really excited about that. Show you a sec here. Okay, let me get this. Here we go. Well, we will take you through that another time. Let me go to here. Yeah, as we speak, I'm working with a web designer, and I think we're probably a week or so away from finishing up this site, but give you a little peek at the courses that will be coming online. And let me just get to that spot. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so right now, this is live. A prototype course is live. 3 keys to your crisis comeback mastery. And what this course is going to be is a compilation of the best segments of the last 4 COVID crisis comeback challenges. So there's basically going to be portions of 12 sessions, right? For each, there were 4 COVID crisis comeback challenges. Each had 3 sessions. So there's going to be the best of 12 portions in there. It's going to be an incredible amount of, opportunity there to go back and learn from all of those sessions and all of those guest speakers. And that's going to be edited down, put there with the workbook. The second course is a course like it's basically the videos of me training people on how to use the journal, and that's a course that is out there right now for people in public. This third course, Exploring the Wisdom in Your Dreams, I'm creating right now, and I've taken out a portion of the Goal Achievement Mastery Journal's Dream section and teaching people focused on how to explore the wisdom in your dreams. And so that will be a set of several videos and several workbooks. So, and then in addition to that, the Your 9-Step program that is being delivered as a workbook and a lecture per month will be recorded, and it will be available for people to do online. So I just wanted to give you a chance to see where we're headed with this program. There's a lot of really exciting things happening. So if you want to get involved with a study buddy group, the way to do it is go to goalmasteryjournal.com. And if you're not already owning a journal system, go ahead and get that. And you will get all the goodies and all the bonuses there. And then I will assign you into an existing study buddy group. And you'll be able to meet with those folks weekly and chat with IM and share inspiration. It is one of the keys, not only to crisis comeback, it is a key to goal achievement mastery, and that is collaborating, meeting with like-minded people, sharing ideas and solutions. Also, Mark Bills is the Dean of Special Challenges, and he comes up every quarter with an incredible challenge. We did a healthy living challenge, and that was really great. We did a goal achievement challenge, and people had tremendous benefit from that. So we'll be doing more of that as time comes on in 2021. So that's basically what I have for you. If you're interested in being a deeper part of our program, go to goalmasteryjournal.com and get yourself plugged in, get yourself working with the journal and all of the videos and other bonuses. I want to thank you for sharing all of this time with me, over 6 hours of time with me. I think by now you know the commitment that I have to help the world. I believe that we can impact the world and make change and improvements, but it happens one person at a time, and it starts with us. And I came out of retirement. I commit my week, every day to do the work in order to bring you more tools, more techniques, more opportunity to learn and share. Let me see by you hitting your reaction button if the thumbs up, if you felt that these last 3 sessions with Dr. McKay, with Rodney, with Glenn were of value to you. Let me know. That means a lot to me. A lot of work is put into organizing these events and creating the materials. So I want you to know that, it means a lot to me that you found it of value. Please tell people you love about us, that we're here, what we're doing. Okay. Please send them to rebootrestart.com to register to be a part of our group work on our mailing list. When you go to rebootrestart.com, that gets people into our email system and allows me. I send an email out every single Sunday, and that email has some great stuff in it and an invitation to the Sunday Mastermind. Okay, so if you're not on my email list, well, if you're here, you're on my email list. But if you have other people who you want me to reach out to and connect with, if you send them to rebootrestart.com, they'll get on our email list. Also, goalmasteryjournal.com. If people are interested in a great journaling system, more than just a journal, it is literally a step-by-step process to really mastering the process of setting the right goals, creating the right plans, and achieving your goals. So with that, again, thank you for your time. I think by now you know how much I love you all, how much I care about you, how much I want you to achieve your goals and your dreams, how much I respect your time, how much I respect all of the journeys you've been on. And if I can be a small part of helping you move forward in that journey and achieve your dreams, it would be an honor and a pleasure. So again, Glenn, thank you so much. Looking forward to having people connect and reach out to you. Thank you all for sharing your time, your attention, and your love. All the best to you. We will not be having a Sunday mastermind meeting tonight because I'm going to collapse in 5 minutes. But we will next Sunday, and you will be getting an email from me. And also, if you haven't already done so, please join the Facebook group, COVID Crisis Comeback Challenge Facebook group. I post information in there. I post the link to the Sunday Mastermind. You will also get an email from me every Sunday with that link. Okay. So I'm trying my best to connect and update you and inform you and support you and let you know I'm in your corner here for you. I am so grateful for what life has brought me. Out of that gratitude, I want to serve and I want to help you. and everyone you know who needs, needs to share some great tools and be supported. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you again. Love you all. Hope to see you again next Sunday in our Sunday Mastermind, and look forward to helping you achieve your goals and your dreams. So with that, thank you all, and have a great night, a great journey, and hope to see you again soon.